This is a quick tour of my Ctenosaura Palearis or Guatemalan Spiny Tailed Iguana. There he or she is, I'm not quite sure of the sex at the moment, suspecting it might be male just because I've not seen any unfertile eggs, whereas my other Guatemalan Spiny Tailed Iguana, which is kept in another enclosure, has been laying infertile eggs. So this enclosure, it measures just a little bit over 7 foot wide. It's just a little bit over 2 foot deep, just sort of under 2.5 foot deep. I went as wide as I could and actually still fit it through the door to get this in. And then it's a little bit under 3 foot tall. I have kept these in a much more vertical enclosure, but I have found these, this enclosure that's a little bit, was a lot wider, not quite 4 foot tall. Is working really well for me at the moment. So yes, as you can see, so the soil, it is a mix of organic topsoil and play sand, so it's about 75% soil and 25% sand. A fair amount of climbing space. And then down in this end, you can see I've got quite a large water bowl. Not that humidity really means anything for these guys. They don't really have much of a humidity requirement. It's just that when I was using smaller water bowls, they were knocking them over, running through it. So I've just gone for something larger. And then there's a little bit of a shaded area there. You can see there's branches and hides throughout. There you can see I've got some of the food. I'll do another video talking about the diet of these. Again, I've had to raise that off the ground a little bit to keep getting knocked over or walk through it. And then this end, you can see I've got the rock. So the lighting, I've tried a few different things with lighting. This is what I found best, is having these clamp lamps with a wire mesh on them. If I went for lamps attached to the ceiling, I couldn't quite get the basking spot hot enough. So I've gone for these, which then hang from the ceiling, so they hang a little bit lower, a little bit closer to the rocks, which means they seem to heat the enclosure up a little bit better. And then for a while I did not have the mesh guards over these, but yeah, I've put them back on just because he or she does tend to try and climb on these, and I didn't want them burning. And then so with regards to UV, I have a 12% UVB, so that's an Arcadia T5 strip there that's going across most of the enclosure. You can see that I've done kind of the light and shade method, so it's brightest and hottest down this end, and then it gets darker and darker, and then a shaded place over there. In terms of the temperature that I'm running this at, so the way I'm achieving my temperatures is I have this thermostat here, which is really good. So you can see I've got this set to 35 degrees on the basking spot, 31 degrees on the hot end. It's a little bit of blowout in there, and you can see the range that I'm getting, and that's being taken by the probes there. So you can see that probe is measuring at about 35, it's about 31, and then down this end it's saying about 27 at the moment. And what that means in terms of the basking temperature, so the surface temperature, when I'm measuring that with an infrared heat gun, I am getting about 40 degrees centigrade on the basking spot there, and then moving over into this little cooler, slightly cooler area where you can see where I've got that other probe, it's coming to about 30. So I feel like I'm coming to about 35 surface temperature there. You see I'm getting a little bit of a range. In terms of this guy, I've actually had him for about a year, but I've not been until recently working much of him on sort of taming. So he's not at the point yet where he's even willing to take food from me, but he is at the point now where I can go near the glass without him completely freaking out and running away. Sorry, that's an awful sound, and you can see he's not too scared of me at the moment. He's starting to get there. I want to be able to, spoke too soon. He's run away, but yeah, I'm really starting to work on taming him down now. Thank you for watching.